Hey everyone, welcome to DevRunner. My name is Paul. I'm a 52-year-old endurance runner and certified running coach, and this is episode 3 of 245 at 52. In this series, I'm detailing my training as I work towards a 2-hour and 45-minute marathon at the age of 52, and the marathon itself will take place on December 11th at the Kiawah Island Marathon in South Carolina. In this video, I'll be covering my training from Monday, August 23rd through Sunday, August 29th. There were a lot of ups and downs in my training this week, a lot of opportunities for learning for both myself and hopefully you as a viewer, so let's go. So as I alluded to before the bumper, there were a lot of ups and downs in my training. I had to make a lot of adjustments. And one of the great things about being a coach or having a coach is the fact that you can adjust your training dynamically as time goes by. You're not just stuck with a training plan that's set in stone for 12, 16, 18 weeks. You can actually make adjustments as you go that suit your particular needs as time goes by. So if you see value in that yourself and you're looking for a coach or looking for somebody to help you design a training plan for your next race, please feel free to get in touch with me. You can reach me at thedevrunner@gmail.com. Now with that said, I also want to get a little quick something out of the way. I'd also encourage you to like this video if you're enjoying my content. And if you have any comments or questions, please drop them below so that everybody in the audience can benefit. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ding that little bell so that you get notifications every time I post something new. Alright, so with that said, I just want to give a quick shout out to these shoes here. I don't know if you noticed them there in the corner, but this is my latest acquisition. In fact, it's a second pair of Saucony Endorphin Pros. I was worried about the fact that my first pair that I have, which I intend to wear at the marathon itself, may get a little bit worn out. They might not have the snap that I want them by the time I finish this training cycle. So while they were on super sale online at various different outlets, I took the opportunity to pick some up. I don't want to say how much I paid, but I encourage you, if you're looking for a pair of carbon fiber super shoes, get online now and do some shopping around. This is the best price I've ever seen on a high quality carbon fiber shoe. Now, I did all of my training here in week 3 exclusively on the treadmill again. The North Carolina weather refuses to let up. It was high 90s or low triple digits with high humidity every single day this week. I'm hoping to see a break in that weather for week 4 and onwards, but I had to do what I had to do in order to get the job done. Now, with that said, Monday, August 23rd for me was a 7-mile easy recovery run. I set the treadmill to 7.5 miles per hour, which are 8-minute miles, and knocked out 7 miles, and that took me 56 minutes and 33 seconds. And then I went into Tuesday, which was my first speed day. That's kind of like where I do my most intense interval type work, and that was a 10-mile run on Tuesday. It took me 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 45 seconds to complete the entire workout. I ran that workout in my Adidas SL20s, and I spent the first 2.6 miles ramping up to 8.8 miles per hour, which is my aerobic cruising speed, if you will. Then at mile 3, I began my interval work. I did 2 by 200 meters at 10.5 miles per hour, 2 by 400 meters at 10 miles per hour. Then I did 3 800-meter intervals in a row at 9.5 miles per hour, followed that up with a single 800-meter at 10 miles per hour, then finished off with a single 200-meter interval at 10.5 miles per hour. In between, I spent a quarter mile with the treadmill speed down to 7 miles per hour, so it was active recovery. It wasn't just stopping the machine until I caught my breath and brought my heart rate down. And then finished off the distance again at 8.8 miles per hour until the 10 miles was done. With that completed, I got back on the treadmill on Wednesday for my middle long run, which is the second longest run of the week for me. I went 13 miles, completed the entire 13 miles in 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 25 seconds. And I always like to do those runs as a mild progression, approaching my intended marathon pace, but not always having to get all the way there. So basically, I spent 2.6 miles ramping up to 8.8 miles per hour, which, as far as time goes, as far as pace goes, that's 6 minutes and 48 seconds per mile. That's, again, my aerobic pace. And then I cruised until the last 3 miles of the run, where I started bumping it up and slowly kind of ramped up until I was up at 9.2 miles per hour for that last mile. Now, with those 2 hard days in a row over with, I went into Thursday knowing I had an easy day in front of me, and I went 8 miles at 7.5 miles per hour, which again is 8-minute mile pace. And I completed that run in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 29 seconds. So Fridays are always my secondary speed workout day. The type of workout varies depending on how demanding my long run is going to be each Sunday. But this week it was a 10-mile run with 10 strides so that I could kind of open up my stride, work my hip flexors a little bit, and just kind of get my body used to moving fast without stressing myself too hard before the long run again. So that 10-miler this past Friday consisted of 2.6 miles ramping up to 8.8 miles per hour. Again, my aerobic pace, which is 6:48 a mile. Then I just continued for the remainder of that mileage to cruise at 8.8 miles per hour, mixing in 10 strides, which were all done progressively faster. The first one was at 10.1 miles per hour, with the last one finishing up at an even 11 miles per hour. With that complete, my Saturday run was an easy day again. It was 8 miles, set the treadmill to 7.5 miles per hour, or 8-minute miles, and cruised it out till it was done. And I was pretty tired. I was getting a little scared of how tired, how physically worn out I felt going into my Sunday long run, which was in fact an 18-mile long run. And for that run, I wore my Saucony Endorphin Speeds. I used Tailwind as my fuel, and 2 Cliff Gels, strawberry flavored, with 25 milligrams of caffeine in each one of those. When I race, I like to use gels every 4 miles, but I wanted to see how I could do, just kind of spacing that out a little bit so I didn't get too sugared up and too amped up from caffeine so that I couldn't even sleep that night. So with that in mind, folks, here's the way that 18-miler broke down. I spent the first 2.6 miles ramping up to 8.8 miles per hour. This should be getting to be a fairly familiar pattern for you. 6:48 minute miles. And then once I was there, after the first 2.6 miles, I spent the next 6.4 miles cruising at 8.8 miles per hour, 6:48. Then, at that point, being 9 miles into the run, halfway done with the run, I spent the next 3 miles ramping up from 8.8 miles per hour all the way up to 9.4 miles per hour, going up by 0.1 of a mile per hour every half mile. And then spent the last 6 miles, I dropped it down again, but this time I dropped the speed on the treadmill down to 9 flat miles per hour, which is 6:40 pace. And cruised that out for the last 6 miles of the run. And I'll tell you what, folks, I was wiped out at the end of that run. And as I was talking about before I gave you the breakdown of the week, this is the value of having a training plan that is dynamic, that can change with your needs over time. Because my initial plan when I designed it was to have 5 straight weeks in a row where I was ramping up my weekly mileage as well as incrementally getting faster with all of my workout days. After that 18-mile long run on Sunday, I knew that if I kept pushing, bad things were going to happen. So I have now redesigned, and what you will see next week when we meet again here for 245-52, episode 4, is that week 4 for me is going to be a down week for me. And down week basically means I'm going to run slightly lower mileage. My plan is to run 70 miles instead of 76, which was originally on the plan. And while there still will, of course, be intensity on my Tuesdays and Fridays, which are my speed days, there will be less. I will run as hard, but there will not be as much mileage at those intense paces. So, and also my long run next week is going to be 16 miles instead of bumping it up to 19 miles. Then I hope I come back in week 5 feeling refreshed and ready to really get after it again. Again, this is an 18-week training cycle, so I'm really, I've got plenty of time to play with as far as reaching my goals and having enough time at my peak abilities to hopefully get me across that finish line in Kiawah Island on December 11th with a 2:45 or better. In addition to my running, I also did continue my daily core routines this week. Every morning I woke up and ran through my 20-minute core routine. Again, I'm going to link to that video for your convenience below. So if you're looking for a good core routine so that you can be a stronger runner, you can find that in the show notes below. In addition to the daily core routines, I did complete 2 free weight workouts this week. One on Monday, one on Thursday. I'm still not up to my usual 3, but I'm kind of easing back into things as the weeks go by. But they went well, I'm glad to say. Now, the part of my training that is presenting the biggest challenge for me, unfortunately, is my nutrition and weight loss situation. The week before last, I managed to lose 1.5 pounds of fat around my midsection here, but this week there is no positive news to report. I'm holding steady at least. I haven't regained any weight, but there is no weight loss to speak of, and that's because I really haven't knuckled down the way I should have. I am, in fact, eating greens and salads and lean proteins like chicken and fish, but the problem is I'm still eating in rather large quantities. But my big Achilles heel continues to be the consumption of sugar late in the day. I kind of assist my wife with cleaning up the house at night, and I'm finding it hard just to hightail it up the stairs before I get my hands on some Hostess Ho-Hos or candy bars or something like that, and I'm not getting away with it like I was hoping I might. I'm just being a little too lax, but I'm going to try to turn that around. Hopefully in week 4 I will have some better news for you in that regard. But hopefully that helps you to become a little bit more cognizant of your own eating habits and helps you to improve your diet. I promise I'm going to do my best to improve things, and rather quickly, because I know that the goal I'm up against in December is not an easy one, and I'm going to have to be in the best shape of my life to pull this off. So, folks, thank you for following along. I really appreciate everybody who comments, who encourages me, because, this is a long road. And getting that kind of feedback from all of you really makes a big, big difference. It really makes me happy. So thank you very much. And with that said, everyone, get healthy, stay strong, and keep pushing. Peace out. Thanks so much for sticking with me, and I'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.